Tonight we're going to get into Noah's Ark for just a bit. Think about Noah's Ark. Whenever you think about Noah's Ark, what is the image that you kind of have in your mind? You know, it's typically a bathtub-shaped party barge, happy-go-lucky. You know, 2x2 animals everywhere. You know, windows everywhere, and two white birds in the sky. It's not anywhere near what the Bible says. We have a scaled down ratio to scale of Noah's Ark down here on the floor. Noah found grace in the eyes of God, which is really an amazing thing because, folks, it was a wicked world, and we're in a wicked society today. The Bible says it did not rain in the original creation. God watered the ground from the mist that came up. It's dimensions in cubits. Now, the cubit is from the elbow to the fingertip, okay? In today's world, in fact, the definition of the word cubit even is the forearm, and it is from elbow to fingertip. Now, here's a depiction of perhaps what building the ark would have looked like. I mean, think about this too. Noah employed help, no doubt. He had to have help because just the three of the guys, they couldn't really probably do this thing. But no doubt he hired people, or somehow he had help with this, which is an amazing thing because, you know, even today, there are people that will build a church, but they won't go to the church. Here's an artist's rendition from 1675 of Noah's Ark. And notice, it used to be depicted fairly accurately, except windows all over the place, but it doesn't say that. But there were 3 floors. It was a barge-type shape of a structure. No doubt not like the bathtub-shaped thing that we see today. Even in depictions, you'll see 2 animals and 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 2, you know. But he'd had 7 of actually a lot of them, as a matter of fact. But I get asked all the time, do you think dinosaurs were on the ark? It would not have been a problem. As long as he had to have 2 of every kind, as long as he had a boy and a girl, everything's going to work out in the end. Noah didn't have to have 2 Shar-Peis and 2 Dobermans and 2 Chihuahuas and 2 Pit Bulls and 2 Poodles and 2 Great Danes and 2... No, he had to have 2 of the dog kind. That's all. He had to have 2 of the cat kind. He had to have 2 of the bear kind. He had to have 2 of every kind of animal. And from those 2 of each, diversified out the animals that we have today. It's not that big of a problem. The ark was actually large enough to hold 530 railroad cars full of sheep-sized animals. The high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the water prevail, and the mountains were covered. All flesh died that moved on the earth, both fowl and cattle and beasts and creepy things and creepeth on the earth. And every man, everybody, everything where in the nostril was breath of life died. Everything was destroyed. Everything was done. And the waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days. The Bible said God closed that door. There would have been huge numbers of local floods taking place at any given time. And as the waters keep coming, the waters rise and blend, rise and blend, rise and blend. God remembered Noah and everything that was on the ark with him, and he made a wind to pass over, and the waters assuaged. To assuage means to sink down. The land is always going to stop the water. You could stand at high tide, and you can come up, and the water goes back down. How many birds did Noah let out? I just tell the kids, just yell out your answer. I hear 2, 3, 4, whatever. Mainly I hear 3. And I'll say, how many birds did Noah let out? How many birds did he let out? How many times did he let the birds out? Usually 3 is the answer. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3. So anyway, then we'll talk about, I'll just start reading the Bible. And if he sent forth and the kids always yell, dove. No, he sent a raven. He sent a raven out, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also, he sent forth a dove. Nothing's going to eat the dove, so Noah knew it was time to get off the ark because this thing is almost over. But he still stayed until God spoke to him. He pulled the cover of the ark off and all that, and then stayed yet until God said, go forth. While earth remaineth, seed time, harvest, heat, summer, winter, hot, cold, all this kind of stuff. Folks, everything, all the seasonal changes came in after the flood. God says, I gave you every green herb for meat. And it was so. And all the animals, everything was vegetarian in the original creation, remember. So at the end, after the flood, they get off the ark. That then is when fear and dread and meat eating and all that kind of stuff. And God reminds us that he put a rainbow in the sky as a covenant that he would never again flood this earth the way that he did that time. And it can't flood. He put bounds. The Bible says he put bounds in there. So it can't flood. He's got mountains over here, he's got valleys down here, and that water cannot cross that ever again. But he also set a rainbow in the sky as a covenant, as a promise that he would, of the flood, that he would never again do it. And they are intentionally, willingly are ignorant of that. Those words mean literally they are intentionally hiding truth. Nothing else that can do what the Grand Canyon shows except a serious, catastrophic event. And then the flood happens and lifespans drop 600, 400, 200, 100. And today, if you live to be 100, you get famous sometimes, get on the news or whatever, because happy birthday so-and-so, you're 102 today. We don't live that long. But back in the original creation, that was normal to live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. The whole earth was one language and one speech. They wanted to build this big giant thing to reach heaven. They were in the process of doing it. God said, no, not going to have that. Confound the languages. They scattered off, and now everybody's divided by water. And that's why we have different genetics that surfaced in different locations. And so you have people that look different, speak different, but they all go back to the same original Adam and Eve too. We have a story boat, we have a story book, we have a story, the whole thing. And we wonder why people sometimes we can't reach them, because that's what they're thinking too. This is just some cute little fairy tale story. But folks, it's not a story. And we need the information for our children so when they grow up, they can have the information for their children. Pour some effort and time and money and love and concern and such into your children. Because folks, if all they ever get is just Bible stories in church and they get facts out there, so many of those kids just walk away. We've seen it so many times, it's sad, it's heartbreaking.